Oh, right. You were playing it. Here we are playing Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man. Brought to you by Mattel. You know, everybody's favorite toy company from like 50 years ago. 60 probably at this point. But nevertheless, yes, He-Man had plenty of games actually. But today we're just focused on the power of He-Man specifically, because that's what was on the thumbnail when I did this. I changed it to the more known meme thumbnail that Twitch can't see. Alright, one button. I keep forgetting. There's an achievement with the meme face on. Interesting. How do I... This is a game. This is definitely a game. Anyway. Part of it was because of the movie. I'm gonna wait till we get more people in and then I'll start talking my ass off about it. And it's been more than 3 minutes. So I can start cussing now. Yeah, before I start talking my ass off about how terrible it is. How do I... There we go. Reset button. I can't get rid of that. How do I shoot down? There's only one button on these Atari things, you know? This is hard as hell. This controls like garbage. Come on. Alright, let's go this way. Let's try that again. Anyway. There's like a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of Masters of the Universe games. As far as I could find. I'm assuming they didn't go past the 6th generation. I would assume so. This He-Man just kind of fell off. Obviously, like most Saturday morning early cartoons. A lot of good ones. Oh yeah, this is terrible. Alright. I guess we gotta go forward in one direction so the timer goes down, but I can't seem to avoid that. I can kind of hit him, but and then that happens. Okay. We're starting off on the Atari because it's the dumbest version, the earliest. The second one is going to be in the Intellivision, and that looks better. Okay. This way. This feels bad. Like it's not going on a straight plane of existence. I don't know if it makes sense. Now look at it. Like I gotta do all that just to avoid... Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna give it a few more tries, but I can't promise much. I was randomly, oh my god. Randomly going through the list of what to play. I settled on the Intellivision because I saw this game. I was like, okay, play that for this console. And that was that. I didn't think it was gonna be like this. I actually thought it was gonna be in a PC. You know, like the Commodore or something. I actually don't even know what this has to do with He-Man. I guess he drives a flying thing. I don't know, I didn't watch it growing up, so... And it's over. Alright, a few more times. But yeah. Modern cinema is... garbage, isn't it? Oh, man. I kept seeing ads about the Masters of the Universe movie. It didn't look too bad, I guess. It's just another live-action reboot or whatever the hell. But as soon as like the movie came out, I guess it did come out. I don't think I ever heard anybody ever talk about it anywhere. All the ads just suddenly stopped, I guess. All the manufactured hype, which is what most modern entertainment is, just kind of died out. Replaced by the next flavor of the month. Or week. That's kind of the point I wanted to make, is the movie came out and nobody is talking about it. Like it never existed, and that's like more than half of all the movies that ever come out. In the last 10 years. 15 years, probably. That's the whole point, I guess. Manufactured hype. I can guarantee you, even if it did well, nobody's talking about it a month later. Same can be said for games, too. But yeah, you can't really... Okay? You can't really deny me that movies were not at their best, at their peak of entertainment back in... between late 80s and early 2000s. About that era. I guess you can just be more specific and just say the 90s were the golden age of cinema. But yeah, let's play something more interesting, alright? The Intellivision must have come out a couple of years after the Atari, and it's saying much because the game's going to look a lot different, a little bit more colorful and less grating to my ears, so... I've been reading a lot, fumbling a lot of words, from having recorded... Oh god, my controller. Shit. From having recorded a bunch of stuff. It's just about 2 hours, probably. But we'll get there. Try to avoid games where I have to actually read a lot. Because then I'll have to, spend all my time reading, and then I'll be bound to mess up, and it's not going to sound very great. It sounds terrible. I can't find this. Television, there we go. It's pretty much the same cover art. It did come with like a free comic book from Masters of the Universe, which, it's so great when you used to get stuff for free just for buying a game and supporting the company. What a novel concept. All the manuals themselves were pretty novel themselves. What a extinct concept. $1983. Sounds equally as shit, but it's still much better than the Atari. I guess that's the theme. I never watched it. I was watching other shits back from that time period. Like the original Spider-Man show, or animated show, and like old shit. I don't know, I feel like one of the... Oh, this looks much better too. I feel like one of the earlier things I've ever watched might have been like they're super old Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry, but I guess the former is older by a wide margin. We're still talking about like like 60s and 70s now. Like, I love this Spider-Man original animated series. I did watch the whole thing at some point as well back then. I think it ended in a bit of a cliffhanger, but it was still pretty good, and it had the original amazing Spider-Verse. How do I... Oh god. No. No. How do I back out? I guess there's no backing out. Let's go. I can't shoot forward. I don't have any buttons. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to... What? Okay, I can only drop stuff down. Okay. Okay, that's... This is interesting in its own way. It's more of a game now. How the hell am I supposed to avoid that? I can't go... You're going faster than me. Gotcha. Did it say difficulty level? I think there's more to this. There should be. Fireballs hit. Skeletor caught. Not enough fuel. I guess there would be like a reset somewhere. I would hope. Guess we're not on training anymore. I don't know. Just do this the whole time. And never mind. Well, it's not like you're gonna miss much. Anybody watching is just surprised at what the hell is going on the screen. I can guarantee you this will actually make you want to watch the movie. But yeah, don't do that. Go watch the original animated show. If I could, I'd also go back and watch some old 90s, 80s animated series. In a heartbeat. I guess I still can. Same with any other show, I just have to acquire them from dubious means. I'm not subscribing to any rental agreement just so I can enjoy entertainment that used to be pretty much free, you know? Game over, alright. The music's not too bad. I actually like this theme and the way it sounds here on the television. Get the water out while we listen to this. Yeah, what the fuck can't I shoot? It's the button for me to shoot. Really wish this had some sort of, like, control scheme I can... select skill. Practice. No. I don't want to practice. How do I accept? Or I guess. You can't shoot, I just don't know how. Okay, that's the button. That makes it so much easier. You're not with that. Get away from me. Okay, you kind of get the hang of this game. It's a little wonky moving left and right, but I see what they were going for. It's not super terrible. This certainly would have been one of the more entertaining games of, like, the early 80s, late 70s, probably. And mind you, this is before any Japanese anything, really. Because these are all American, I'm pretty sure, all American systems. Oh, I think Mattel is an Intellivision creator. Either that or the ColecoVision. Alright, we got it. I don't know what that 26 at the bottom means. You've been doing it right. Probably. I feel like we're going faster, actually. Well, there's not much for me to say. I hope it's enjoyable for what it is. Maybe it's the same concept where I have to keep going in a certain direction? Yeah, I do. Okay. Keep trying, but it's not that simple of a game. Not enough fuel. Okay. What did I... Yeah, I gotta make it till the end with fuel. I got it now. Alright. About to be a pain. What did I up the difficulty? Oh shit. Did. How come you can't shoot any faster anymore? Again, it's so weird. I mean, here I am playing on a damn telephone controller. Alright, whatever. If we can make it on the fuel that we got, we'll be good. I can ignore Skeletor. Fine. I'm gonna shoot it. And that happens. We're almost there anyway. We get enough fuel. Got like a Euro beat. It just came up randomly. We're almost there though. 13 whatevers. Alright. We're not getting off till we beat this, like, once. Yeah, game over, come on. So goofy, and then I'll look for more Masters of the Universe games. It's gotta be at least one that isn't trashy. I think there was one on the Game Boy Advance, and that was it. And great. So yeah, not a lot to commentate on. This isn't all that interesting. Oh man. You know, with that color palette, Skeletor kind of looks like a whole different character from this era. I just can't remember his name. But I had a toy of him. Had the same exact color scheme. And pattern. That's gonna hit me. Alright. This will be one of those short streams where nothing really happens. There's only so much content I can get out of, like, certain games. You know? If we choose to play Pong, there's only so many different Pongs I can show you. But we did it. Oh my god, what is this? All I can do is block. I hope that's right. I hope all I can do is block. Looks more interesting than the actual game. I guess I gotta get through. I gotta get the sword. I'm mashing. I don't know what to do. I did it. We saved the universe. Apparently not. Alright. It was really slow, too. You can also tell it's the same exact sprite, just different colors. But yeah, the Atari wishes... I could... Oh, shit. Again? Oh, shit. I'm getting time. There was a sword I could get. Oh, I did it again. No, I did it again. Oh, shit. Oh, no, not again. Yeah, it happens. I get... There's like a hiccups on the YouTube app and I get taken back a little bit. I guess we lost. Alright, then. I don't want to have to redo that whole beginning shitty section again. Ah, we have to. Alright. If I change battle skill to like 4. Master. And yeah, I guess there's nothing else to look at or discuss. I did have a fuck ton of great Spider-Man toys. I guess you can kind of figure out what I was mostly into back in the day. Not a lot of X-Men toys, even though I watched the hell out of the animated series in the 90s. Okay, alright. Got less travel time, but it's... I don't know, it just feels kind of the same, actually. Less travel time. I did think I put on Master difficulty, and I'm dead. So, great. Alright. Yeah, I do wish I still had a lot of old toys, just for the novelty or the nostalgia of it. Because they were pretty good. A lot of variety. I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! When that came out in anime. They'd have one of the original Joey Wheeler decks when that came out. And a dual disc, which unfortunately broke in half, so it was kind of useless. Really wish I still had that. Really wish I had a lot of things, still. But you know how it is. Either they break down from time, or, you know, something just happens, they just get lost. The time. Oh man. The hick got me with the cups. But yeah, I'm probably halfway done with the game recording. So a lot of the... Not even a lot, we're done with Thunderbird Kagura Estival versus... I'll give it a few, like maybe a month or two before we start going in with another game in the series. Great. Then I can be done with Ninja Gaiden too, hopefully. I'm just holding the button. I don't know what makes it shoot faster, but again, I really don't know. We're not getting anywhere anyway. Yeah, exactly. If anything, more functional is the next part. I really would rather play that section than this. At least get there with more lives. I can probably do it on easy, but I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. But we'll be back eventually to more SNK. Not the shitty Saudi company, you know. Let's go back to practice. Did notice my YouTube app lagging a little bit. It wasn't loading the screen properly. I can go back and take a look at this very moment just in case. But if we were having any sort of frame issues, I feel like somebody would have said something anyway. The audio is fine, so I guess that's pretty good. One more try. If I can't get to that second part, maybe there's more. We'll move on. I already knew today was going to be short. I might as well just end it here, actually. So we're on it. There's only so many Power of He-Man games, which... I say that, but we've actually just played them all right now. We'll get there, eventually. Well, I did say specifically, it said the power of He-Man. That was the original concept. This was what we were originally going to be playing. But, you know, I gotta put in more games just to lengthen my stream times. Not that anybody watches the whole thing anyway. But I like to think it helps. So yeah, I barely look at polls when I put them up. I usually wait like a week, maybe two. So I don't know what's happening with the current one. I just know how many people have voted so far, and usually that just goes up somewhat exponentially, and then kind of just stops at a certain number, which is fine as long as I get more than 5 suggestions, or not suggestions, but like input, whatever. You know what I mean? Get the word on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what the hell I was supposed to actually say. But yeah. The majority voted for a spicy game, and that's what I'm gonna deliver. So. I could really make up my mind on what kind of, like, sensor screen I wanted to use. Because this is YouTube, I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. I can't. Hey, we're making more progress than ever. The Bowser's Castle. But rest assured, there is no, or whoever it may concern, it's just nothing but women, apparently. From what I can gather. What? Alright. Yen, damn. There we go. And I guess if you're into hard objects, apparently there's women with them, so you know, there's something for everybody at some point. So. I talk a lot more about it in the actual game when I'm reading through it. But I'm not a big fan of reading spicy scenes out loud, you know? I'd like to think that's anybody's opinion on this. You know, if you're watching the big P ending in N, you wouldn't want to be narrating what's happening on the screen to somebody else now, would you? Let alone reading the actress's commentary. But I did it anyway. I think the biggest problem I got with the game is just I can't use a gamepad. It just didn't work. So I gotta play with the arrow keys and the Z and X, which isn't that bad of a control scheme, but it's kind of awkward with the arrow keys. I'd rather use a D-pad. Because it's a good game otherwise. I guess maybe too short, but it's fun. If not, a little unfair half the time. But you'll see what it is, if I can edit it properly and get it the way I want it to look at the end. Guess you'll see, huh? I don't even know if I have to, like, cut out the name, the title, from the actual YouTube title. Because I don't think YouTube allows you to say the word. I think. I'm definitely, like, bleeping out some profanity that I say, or anything spicy. I tried to, like, change up words just so I'm not actually reading anything dirty. For YouTube, obviously. But I did read you could, or the thing people used to do, or still do, is, like, you see streamers, they'll blur out chat for the first, like, and I did count one of them. They blur it out for the first 3 minutes. Used to be you can't actually curse in the first 10 minutes of a YouTube video or anything. But I'm gonna try just the first 3 minutes, and then I'll start cussing like a sailor. Other than that, what was I talking about? Anyway, the joypad kind of works, I just can't... You can aim up and down, and it's kind of like Contra in a way. But I can't... When I have a joypad connected, I can't aim down, which may not even be that bad of a deal, but you know, it might be an occasion where I have to aim down and shoot at something. So, you know, it's not ideal to me, it's not perfect, I guess is the point. We beat Skeletor again, in his own castle. I guess we're following old arcade rules, we're just looping now. So, it's the difficulty going up a little bit. But I think YouTube in general, I think streamers blur out chat in the first few minutes specifically because they can't... Well, the dumbass thing of you can't control the chat, so you gotta blur everything out, because apparently the streamer's responsible for anything their chat says, apparently. But I'm talking about, like, profanity in the video itself, which I guess the chat also is part of that. So if I'm going to be recording videos, I'm going to start just bleeping things out in the first 3 minutes. And if that just doesn't change any reach or discoverability or anything like that, I'll move it up to like 5, maybe 10 minutes. Because like I said, it used to be you weren't able to curse at all in the first 10 minutes. This is like after the Google YouTube Kids Act bullshit. We're out of fuel. Oh well. This has been Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man, from Mattel, your favorite game company. Your toy company, I should say. We haven't been here for too long, that's fine. There's not much to show. This game just starts to loop around, and I think the Atari one also would have just looped around anyway. I did see there was a show for that. It was like a remake show for her. I don't think it did that well, but it looked pretty decent. I like the animation personally, but that's just me. I don't really watch animation nowadays besides like maybe certain anime if I'm in the mood anyway. Like Senran Kagura. But that's different because I never saw that when it came out. Second anime anyway. Alright. I wasn't expecting this to be a long stream like I said. I wasn't expecting it to be any popular either. Part of me kind of expected the Master of the Universe name was going to actually do something, but not really, I guess. Whatever. It's a sad existence, I guess. Some streams just don't pass. There's some content overall just doesn't pass like the single digits, but it's certainly much better than it was when I just really came back to YouTube to start streaming again or making videos. Everything was just pure single digits. We've been steadily growing to like 2 digits. It'd be pretty lucky to hit the 100 mark at this point, this late in the game. And anyway, Thursday, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll leave Friday up, for, IT support, you know? So you never know what might happen. If it's not too late, I'll pull up a quick stream, Ninja Gaiden or something. Maybe tomorrow we'll play Ninja Gaiden and I'll suffer because I don't have a thumbnail right now either. But I know exactly what's coming up and exactly what to put on there. Yeah, until then, I guess, goodbye. I'm actually going to work on a YouTube short. It's really shitty because I really hate... It's a really bad bug they never fixed. They never even say anything about it on YouTube app. It just stretches out my shorts when I edit them in a different layout, so I have to use the base layout that just zooms in on your screen. That's not really... doesn't look good. Other than that, I wish YouTube Studio had a shorts section instead of dumbass clips that nobody uses. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Goodbye.